In my last video, we talked about the basics of Zapier and covered zaps, triggers, actions, and tasks. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to create your first zap and how to implement a filter action. So make sure to stick around towards the end of the video. For those of you just joining us now, my name is Josh Jackson and I'm a certified Zapier expert. Ready to create your first zap? Let's jump into it. Okay, so to create a new zap, just click on the create button, then click on zaps. This is going to create a new zap. So for this example, we're going to actually create a zap that sends us a Google Calendar meeting reminder, and that's going to be sent to a Slack channel. So the first thing that we need to do is let's just give this zap a name. I'm just going to say send Google Calendar reminder to Slack channel. And for the trigger, this is what starts our zap, and the action is what we want the zap to accomplish. So for the trigger event, we're just going to add the Google Calendar event. And the event that we want is event start. It's going to trigger a specified time before an event starts. So let's select that, click on continue, and now we have to specify an account. So let's click and choose an account. Click on continue. And for the calendar, this is a required field. Anytime you see this little star symbol, that means the field is required. So you need to select the calendar that you want to add. And next we have the time before, which is an optional field. And we also have the time before, which is the specified unit. So we want this to get triggered 15 minutes before the Google Calendar event starts. So the unit we want is minutes, but it also gives you the option to select hours, days, or weeks. So this is good. Next thing we want to do is click on continue. And now we're in the testing section, and let's click on test trigger. So this is going to on the left side here, this pulls in all of the Google Calendar start events. Those will be listed here on the left side. So if you need a new record, you can just click on find new records here. And on the right side here represents the data that's getting pulled in from Google Calendar. So we have things like the ID, the creator email, event ends, event begins, the summary, and location. So these are what we call tokens, and we could pull these tokens into actions later on. So let's click on continue selected record. And because we want to send a Slack message, we're going to add the Slack app. For the event, which is required, we're just going to say, select the one, send channel message. And that's going to send a Slack message to a specified channel. Let's click on continue again because we have our account already added. For the channel, let's go ahead and just select our test channel that we set up for this, which is Zapier test. For the message text, this is a field that is required, and we could either hard code some data or we can add in a token, which are these tokens here in this drop-down list. So for this message text, let's just say meeting reminder, Google Calendar, and now we can include some details about this event, such as the summary. So we're going to hard code summary, and now we're going to select a token. So this will constantly change. And now let's do a description, add in the event's description, and let's do a location. So we'll select the location token, and that's it for now. So these are required. This is a required field, but we also have some optional fields, and you'll know it's optional if it doesn't have that star. So we can do things like send as a bot, specify a bot name, attach an image by URL, auto expand links, and so on. So let's just click on continue and test this out. So this is just showing, before we click this test step, what data is going to be sent to Slack. So now let's click on test step, and it was successful because it'll say a send channel message was sent to Slack about 1 second ago. And here below, we can see here are the details that were actually returned from Slack to Zapier. So the way to look at this is like a success message. And you can see here we have the meeting reminder for Google Calendar, its summary, description, location, and the tokens for each of these fields. So now from here, we can just click on publish. And now the Zap is live. So you'll see it's actually toggled on. And that means whenever an event is created, 15 minutes before the event, this Zap is going to trigger and it's going to send the Slack channel message. So the next step here is to actually test this. Okay, so we just created a Google Calendar event. It's called Test Google Calendar Reminder, and it's set to start at 4:58 p.m. We have here location Miami, and description is a new lead, booked in appointment. So this is set at 4:58. 15 minutes prior to that is going to be 4:43, which is 1 minute from now. So let's head on over to Slack and see if anything comes through. Okay, we could see here that actually the notification was sent to our Slack channel. And we could see here that we have meeting reminder for Google Calendar. The summary is test Google Calendar event. Description, a new lead booked an appointment. Location is Miami. So it is working as designed. So I just created actually a new Google Calendar event. It's still testing Google Calendar reminder. The location was changed to New York, but this is the most important detail for testing the filter. So it says this is a team meeting, and the Zap is not going to send the Slack message if the description contains the word team. So that's what we're looking to test here. So the event starts at 5:10, which means that this Zap should trigger at 4:55 p.m. So the Zap should have triggered. So we could check Slack if we want and wait a minute to see if the message gets sent or gets filtered out as expected. But actually, you can just check the Zap logs. And to do that, just click on the Zap history link. This is going to bring you to the Zap history, and you can see your Zap runs. It's already set to look at the Zap we created. So the run should just show up right here. And as you can see, this was the last run that successfully ran all the way through. It has a success message. And let's just reload. So as you could see, here is the most recent run, and it has a filtered status, which is what we're looking for. And if we click into it to inspect the run further, we can see the trigger ran, but when it got to the filtered step, we can see it has this little halt icon, and it says, this is a team meeting, text does not contain team, and the data that came in was team. This is actually a specific condition. And so if we look at the data out, we can see here that the description is, this is a team meeting. So that description contained the team. And that's why the Zap did not continue and did not execute the final action, which is to send the Slack channel message. So this is expected behavior. And this is just to show you how you can add filters to your Zap for further customization.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. It activates the YouTube algorithm and helps more people just like you find this video. And don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for more insights and advanced tips in our upcoming videos. In the next tutorial, we're going to hit the ground running with how to troubleshoot Zap errors. So stay tuned because there's so much more left to explore in the world of automation. So keep experimenting, and I'll see you in the next video.